Hello, retail traders. I'm Washboard Jim, and today we're going to have Vegas with us. This is the Jim in Vegas show that we do every week for for kind of like a weekly summary of what's going on. And Miss Vegas, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you. And good morning, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Vegas and Jim show. And we appreciate the followers and the likes. Please do that. Follow and like on Jim's channel. And so appreciate being here. So let's talk about what happened last week because there was a tons of earnings. And then Jim's going to talk to us about what's coming up this week. But I just want to wrap up what happened last week. I mean, we had over 80% of companies that reported earnings and that they did beat profit estimates, earnings scorecards. So we had a lot of earnings announcements this past season. There was kind of a sell-off with companies like Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Intel, especially Intel. Oh my God, awful. And then as we focus on the latest financial reports, the resilience of the U.S. economy during elections and an anticipated rate cut is still a key topic amidst global uncertainties. And so, this week's earnings report kind of paints a dynamic picture. Over 80% of companies surpassing profit expectations, highlighting areas of strength due to artificial intelligence and broader economic trends. On the revenue side, over half of the reporting firms have exceeded forecasts, suggesting a nuanced landscape. But despite these positive earnings, stocks have been quite bearish with significant declines. I mean, we saw what happened this week. AMD shares fell more than 6%. They erased Wednesday's gains and then some. And they did report better than expected second quarter results and guidance. Microsoft also fell more than 3% in extended hours on Tuesday after they did report the earnings. But the Azure growth was weaker than expected, so that's why the stock didn't really go the way it should have. QCOM fell nearly 10% after the San Diego chipmaker did report fiscal third quarter results and fourth quarter guides that topped estimates. However, the company also gave some conservative commentary about the smartphone market for the rest of the year, which seems to be the issue as to why that stock got spooked. And then Intel stock was down, oh my gosh, over 27% Friday
Ouch.
after those results. I mean, that's just crazy. And the company did also announce they were laying off 15% of the employees. And the nasty part as well is to suspend its dividend. And so the chipmaker expects third quarter revenue to be between 12.5 billion to 13.5 billion, well below the 14.39 billion that they were anticipating. Apple, one quick comment on Apple, they did report quarterly results, early outlook for the coming quarter after they received praise on Wall Street. Several firms pointing out the potential for the iPhone and the tech giant's artificial intelligence strategy. As you guys know, though, Warren Buffett's been selling Apple quite a bit. He still has a huge position, but he's been selling Apple quite a bit. Amazon shares losing ground also as well, below Wall Street expectations. And Meta had a posted second quarter earnings where the company beat expectations top and bottom, though it noted that its spending on tech, notably AI, would keep inching higher. And I will say, just because some of these companies have pulled back, they're not bad companies. I still think Meta is a great one. Long term, you have to really identify what kind of trader are you? Are you an investor? Are you short term? Are you like to be long term? Because if you like to be long term, some of these companies are fantastic to consider with the pullbacks. Some great, you get some great entries on some good opportunities. So that was just this past week. I'm going to turn it over to Jim to tell us what is coming this week with earnings because there's still a lot more companies reporting. So Jim, over to you on what's happening this week.
Yeah, last week was a big week in tech. It was going to be like the decisive figure, I think, in earnings coming out. But you know how Wall Street is. They'll have a short extension pan or memory span. So this coming week, what I'm looking at on here that I like to watch is going to be PLTR.
I
Lucid
love
might,
being up here.
yeah, Lucid might pull back some. That's on Monday. These are on Monday. So Monday's kind of not a big day, but PLTR probably the one we're going to watch. Tuesday, we got the Uber pump from CNBC earnings coming out before open and after close. That's when PLTR comes out on Monday. But Tuesday we got Uber before close. We got Fubo We got CAT. I'd keep a good eye on CAT, CAT, see if it's pulled back some, and then that'd be a good one to watch. CAT would be great. You got Rivian. Rivian, is that the one that had a deal with Volkswagen Vegas?
Yeah, Rivian.
Yep. And then you got Airbnb. They've been saying travel's up big and airplanes are full, and so I'd be keeping an eye on that. Then you got Wynn, WYNN. So Tuesday's going to be a pretty good day.
Jim, sorry, Rivian had the deal, sorry, with Volkswagen. I was
Yeah.
confusing it with someone else. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Wednesday morning we got Shopify. We got Disney. Now Disney, it's pulled back some. I'd keep an eye on Disney. You know, Disney, I give it a D plus from
Yeah.
from A to F.
For the devil.
But you could get a trade out of it. I mean, these earnings when they come in and they knife on you, a great opportunity to have a couple day trade on it or even a scalp day. So it's really close to watching earnings. CVS is another one that we've got to watch. Then you got Lyft. Now Lyft and Uber this week. You know, I'm not a fan on either one of them, but Wall Street's a big fan on both of them, especially Uber. Then Sony. That's all in the morning on Wednesday, and then after close we got HubSpot, which might be a good one to watch. Robinhood. Keep an eye on Robinhood. And Oxy. Those would be the three I'd really pay attention to on Wednesday evening. Thursday, we got Lilly. Lilly will probably be the trade of the week. I'd be watching Lilly on Thursday. These are all earnings plays, so you need to keep them on your watch list. And then we've got Plug, which I'm not too bullish on. Then you got Cron, the cannabis sector. That'd be one to watch. HIMX, but I don't know. I'm more, them two probably nay. You got Paramount after close on Thursday. And then Friday we got Nicola, what do we call it? Nikola, or the phone company, and
Yeah. Nokia.
yeah, Nokia, yeah.
Nicola.
There you go.
Nicola.
So that's the ones to watch.
All right. Well, as you can tell from Jim's list, there's still tons of earnings to report, and the week's not over, and so there's still a lot of big companies reporting. So, and don't forget we got Shopify as well reporting this week.
Yep.
As well, and they apparently, last time their profits did surge by apparently 44%. Revenue growth was estimated at 19%. Bank of America raised their target to $82 on this actual stock, citing growth and improved margins under the new CFO. His name's Jeff Hofmeister. And so we'll see what happens with when they give the updates on their revenue and free cash flow because of their e-com business and steady market share gains. So I think it'll be interesting to see what that one. I think that's a great one to watch this coming week is Shopify.
Yeah, really, because you had real good earnings on that thing, and then all of a sudden we're at 54.50 with a big knife on Friday. So I mean, it's a huge sell-off from $70 to 54. Go ahead.
Yeah, so let's talk about this week because, as you guys know, I love the NVDA Corporation, and it's still the AI kingpin, even though you hear many comments out there. But, the thing is with NVIDIA, it is really for people that are very patient as well because, there's there's three catalysts still in play for NVIDIA. There's the operational efficiency, the capital structure, the R&D profile. So, there's a lot of chatter out there about the valuation of the company, but it's still a strong buy, in my opinion, with a lot of growth and in revenue and in earnings. And so it's something to watch. I mean, if you do options in particular, you really should take something with some time on it. We have earnings coming this month as well with NVIDIA. So I think it's really important. The fact is that it has had a pullback, and having a correction is understandable and also expected. Like nobody can expect a stock to go up, not have pullbacks. These pullbacks are healthy. It's not the market's fault. lot of it's natural that corrections happen to bring prices also back down to earth, right? So to give you guys opportunities to get into something that you maybe couldn't get into before. So obviously some people will say the stock is overvalued when businesses can't deliver superior performance. But NVIDIA's kind of been on spot with the growth and the outstanding revenue, and I think that many will be quite shocked when they report this month as well. They're going to report again in August, and stay tuned. That's going to be an exciting one because I think that the guidance is going to be incredible. I don't think Jensen Huang's going to disappoint. He's always way ahead in the industry with his AI chips, and I think it's going to be another earnings smasher, and I think an earnings smasher as well. So definitely be watching Jensen Huang. Well, he was at the event recently. He was doing an event, Jim Fireside Chat with Zuckerberg, and he talked about SIG graph, and he says that we're setting up engineering samples of Blackwell all over the world, and they are under people's chairs right now. And so he's definitely a leader in the industry, and he said Blackwell's in full production, and he says we will see a lot of Blackwell revenue this year. So I think that's going to be exciting for the company, and one to watch. And I just comment, aside from NVIDIA, there's that other stock that he's an investor in, and I think that's another one to still watch. The other company that he invested in as well, and it trades really extremely volatile. It's called SERV. Full disclosure, I have a position in it. But if you ever consider to go into this stock, just know, this is a long-term hold for me, at least for the next 12 months, but just know that this stock is very volatile. So it does go up and down like $5 at a time. Every single day it can go up and down really wild. So if the volatility scares you on some of these stocks, then don't go in them or just take smaller sizes. So, Jim, let me turn it over to you to talk about NVIDIA and our levels. And then when you're done, I'm going to talk about a couple options that I'm in for NVIDIA, because I have a couple options that I'm holding into the earnings. Yeah, over to you.
I'm going to ask you a question here. There's a news article that came out today. NVIDIA reportedly delays next generation Blackwell AI chip.
Right.
Big. So you think that'll have a catalyst just to consolidate at this support, or you think we just go ahead and...
Well, it could have time. I think this is already known information. That could be more, how much more pullback can this have? But it's had a wonderful pullback. I think we have really good support. I think it's still a great buying opportunity. And I think, we'll have to see how it does this week, because there's still some earnings coming. But I think it's fantastic. But again, that's just what I think. Everyone has their own opinion. People will hate it and say no. And people will say, yeah, I love it. So, yeah, I think that's good news. That's known information, but we'll see how the market wants to react. But, the bottom line is I'm holding this into earnings.
Yep.
And I want to see what happens with the performance of the stock. So I'll talk about the options momentarily once you go over with us the chart.
The chart is set up beautifully. We've got the daily here. We touched down. I alerted this out this week twice. We pulled back to the gap right at 102.04. They had a gap trade here. If anybody knows how to trade gaps, you've got a resistance and a support. So when you're coming from the top and you move on down, that old resistance will now become support if it wants to hold and stay bullish, and then you can channel it up back and forth for all week. That, or if it does break that support of 102.04 and just automatically knifes on down to 96, I think that's a triple top. So, this is a great setup right now. We've got to deal with the election and this messed up election this year. So that's only my worst catalyst at all, right now. But we've had one of the best runs I've ever seen in the 20 years that I've been trading this market. I want to stick that out there too. So So 96.26 will be your low support if it does not hold 102.04. Now, I use moving averages, chart patterns, and moving averages, and being in the now. So I'm in the now. The resistance that we'll have to break will be right around 113, 113, 113.06, and that'll be the 63 EMA on the daily time frame. And if everything gets a little wild, 120 will be your hard resistance. Why do you say that? Well, I'll show you. I'm going to draw a trend line from the body of this candle right here to the body of that one. So that's called real hard resistance up through there. So we're going to try to run this up to the 50 SMA on the daily. And if that breaks, then you could have the triple top up here at the top at 140. But for right now, I think we're just going to consolidate sideways and hold this major support at 102.04. And if that doesn't hold, back down to the 96, and I'll be probably loading the boat right there. There you go, Miss Vegas.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you guys earnings is coming up next week on NVDA. And so just wanted to mention a couple option trades I'm currently in already that, some of you may want to watch. If you can get a better entry, that's great. And just keep an eye on these opportunities because I really do view them as opportunities for a trade. So I do have NVIDIA. I have 142 calls for this week. I did buy those for 8 cents on Friday. And I also have NVIDIA 125 calls for August 23rd, which covers the earnings period. I paid 126. And then I also have 115 calls, which are this coming week, August 9, and I paid 143. So I have quite a few NVIDIA contracts in play. So we'll see how these can play out. I mean, obviously, my lotto play, the ones for the 142, that's sized for 0. And, if the other ones pull back and they're down 50%, especially the ones for this week, I'll cut it. And the one for August 23rd, I'm sizing it for 0 because I'm expecting the smashing earnings. So willing to risk it for the biscuit. And, not a huge size, small size, because with earnings, you just never know what to expect. And I usually expect nothing. I expect earnings to always flop or guidance to flop. But with NVIDIA, I'm actually expecting this to pay. So I hope it does. But, hope's not a strategy. If it pays, it pays. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But I don't have 20, 30 contracts.
Miss Vegas made a very key point there. When we're in a volatile market, you don't want to load the boat. You want to go in small and just kind of test the waters. If you load the boat, when we're very volatile coming up into the election with Kamala, I'd be very scary about this. But I like the call, but I'm just saying, I like the fact that she said she's going in small because it is kind of a risky time right now. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, listen, some of these unfortunately, some of these comments out there in the world, they do sometimes affect us in the market pull back. You're like, oh my God, why is it pulling back? And it's nothing to do with the company that you're currently trading. It just has to do with these market headlines. And so they can affect how the market responds. Because when people hear things about, let's say, military action or a war, unfortunately, there is going to be some volatility in general. And so you can expect there's a lot of tension still in the Middle East. So be aware of those headlines. You could shut the noise out and just ignore, and that's fine. But at least when things pull back, understand that there is some reasons behind it. And so sometimes these, those kind of news headlines affect the market.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So just be aware. That's all. Just don't be someone that's in la land and say, why is it pulling back? Oh, I didn't know there was a headline, or I didn't know there was a problem there. So
pay attention to news.
Just be open. Pay attention to news, and if you like the news, I use the TradeExchange.com. You're welcome to follow them. They do post tons of headlines for free on Twitter or X, and you can follow them at the TradeExchange.com, and you can get a news feed. So and they're a really nice, reasonable subscription. So check them out. They're definitely worth a follow at the very least. You don't have to subscribe, but you should definitely be following them for news. So maybe, Jim, can you show the Trade Exchange Twitter page?
You have send me a
yeah,
link.
let me send it to you. so that you could show it. I'll show you. I'll give you the link for their send you the link for their site, and then you guys can just copy the link. Copied the wrong one. Sorry about
I'll
that.
put the link down in the content in your
You did?
affiliation. I will.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, let me just I'm in the wrong link. So give me 1 second. I don't know what happened here with the Twitter page. Just locked me. Second. I apologize, everyone. Just give me 1 moment, please. And there we are. Great thing. There we go. Okay, so let me give it to you. Sorry, Trade Exchange. Don't get mad at me. Here we go. Just share this one. Oh, we're recording this live, so we're not scripting anything. So there you go. That's their link for on Twitter page. Follow them, and if you want a subscription, you can click the link, and you can get some news delivered straight to your Twitter page. So
here's Miss Vegas's Twitter page link. ilovestocks.com. She also has a website here, ilovestocks.com. So bring yourself to that if you like.
Yeah, come check it out. I have a Vegas 2.0 channel, which is like just day trades. You have five ideas per day. If you follow, if they trade, they trigger. They don't, they don't. But you get 5 ideas per day. If you like investments, my friend Joe Fahmy on my website, it's at the very bottom. He has an educational product. He's a market expert. He will be actually, I think, on TV this week with Charles Payne. So tune into that, or you can check out. He does sometimes free webinars. You can check him out. So feel free to check out Joe as well. So, and he's a good follow on Twitter as well. Let me see if I have his Twitter page, because he's a very good follow too. He gives good market commentary. And do you follow Joe?
What's that?
Do you follow Joe Fahmy?
No, but I will.
Well, I'm going to give you his link to follow. He's a very good follow. He's very professional. He's a great sense of humor, but he's very good at the market, and he's very good at market history, and gives a lot of really good statistics and data and commentary. So if you take a look at his Twitter page, you have all his feed is there. He's very inspirational sometimes with his posts, but he gives excellent market commentary. I mean, for him to be on Investors Business Daily's talk show, and for him to be on TV this coming week. And he's been on the podcast with The Compound, which has Josh Brown on there as well. I mean, he's obviously stellar quality content. So follow Joe Fahmy as well if you don't follow him already. So that's it for me. And I want to wish everyone a fantastic trading week, but be ready for some more volatility.
All right. This is the Jim in Vegas show. We wish you all a great week. When we're talking about earnings, they are a great opportunity. I'm just saying earnings, learn how to trade them earnings. And we'll have a great day. Retail traders. Bye-bye.